So how to start? How do we actually get Google Analytics working on our website? So the first thing you need is to get a Google login, like a Gmail user, right? So once you have that, you can start. Then you go to Google Analytics. How do you go to Google Analytics? It's quite simple. You simply Google Analytics, and that will be the first result. You go in and you ask for a new account, for a new website. You follow the instructions. It's quite simple, and you get this crazy little code. Okay. Now this will be the only part where you're actually going to need the IT guy. You're going to need the person who's implementing the site to enter this code to every page on the website. Okay, either do it manually or in some cases where the website is made using some platform, then a lot of like WordPress or other platforms for easily creating websites without coding. There'll be usually like a place where you can enter the site's ID. And so anyway, the implementation part is quite easy. Sometimes you need a little bit of technical help there, but once that's done and over with, you can go on, and then you can basically get back to Google Analytics and you'll have the reports available, and you'll be able to see all of these reports that we've seen. A couple of next steps, some extra and really things that you want to do after just doing the first implementation, the initial implementation. These are things that you can do yourself through the reports interface. So one thing is regarding goals and funnels. So the funnel visualization report that we've seen, this one will only work if you have defined. Well, this is a predefined, so you have to define and tell Google Analytics what is the goal and what are the steps preceding, right? What is to define the funnel. So you really want to do that in order to have this funnel visualization report to be able to see to measure conversion rate according to the goal that you've defined, and you want to create a goal in a funnel for each goal that you have on your website, okay? Because you might have several goals. Second thing is filters. You can actually filter data out. You can filter traffic out of the reports. And the main thing you're going to do is to filter out internal traffic. So what you can do is find out what the IP address for your clinic is, or whoever is really dealing with your site internally, like the developer, and filter that out so that all you get is clean data of real visitors coming to your site. Okay, so if you log into your site 100 times a day, you want to kind of take this out of the equation, right? And last thing is dashboard. So for each report that you go to, we've seen some reports and we've seen these steps of how to create them. But then once you create a report that you'd like to that is useful to you, there's a button you can say add to dashboard, and then you'll have that report available. So whenever you come in, you can just in a single click find that report. So once you find which reports are most valuable to you, the ones that you're gonna want to look at daily or weekly, then you add them to a dashboard, and then you have a really kind of quick access to the data that matters to you. So finally, just a few kind of final thoughts that I'd like to leave you with. One important thing is to look at data comparatively. Okay, so the absolute values, okay, of the amount of visitors or the conversion rate or the bounce rate, they don't really tell you a lot that will drive you to action. Okay, but what you always want to do is compare. Okay, so you want to compare, for instance, the conversion rate between different traffic channels, right? You want to compare the bounce rate between different pages. You want to compare before and after having made a change, and that will educate decisions. Okay, and the second thing, take action. There is no point actually looking at reports and looking at data if it's not going to drive you to action, if it's not going to educate decisions on how to improve. Okay, so basically the actions would be making changes within the website, either to design and presentation, layout, colors, calls to action, text, etc., or to content. So that's one action that you can take to improve how the website is doing, to optimize the website, and the other, as we said, regarding the marketing mix. Okay, so you have this overview of how the different channels are working, and use this data in order to make decisions regarding allocating resources to different marketing channels. And of course, the idea is to improve. Remember, your site, every site has goals, and what you want to do is improve the conversion rate, improve the bottom line of how many people actually, out of the people who reach your website, how many of them actually follow through and complete the goals. This is the purpose of measuring all of this and taking action upon the data. And lastly, you really want to start this from day one, from when the website is up. It's quite easy to implement, and as the title says, you can't manage and you can't improve what you can't measure. So if you have a website, if you don't probably have one right after this conference, the first thing you want to do is to implement and include Google Analytics so that you will know what visitors are doing on your website and start improving it. Thanks.